video. We're going to talk about Santa Claus, Saint Nick, and the story behind it, where it come from, the true meaning. Shed a little light on that, because, yep, Santa Claus is real. You'll see what I mean by that, and you will agree. Well, you should be agreeing with me by the end of this this video. I may have to do this in two, but I don't want to keep doing them too long. So yeah, Santa Claus, Saint Nick. Yeah, so let's think about the word Santa, and then think about some of the things that I talk about, some of the names that I mention. Santa. Yep. Saturn. Saturn is Santa. It's going to start making sense then. This is who Santa is, and he brings us a special gift that we're supposed to return. And if you don't return the whole thing, at least turn. Even the ancients say this, you're supposed to return at least 10% of it. So you would have heard me speak about in my videos the heaved up place being heaven, and spoke about something that you're supposed to heave back up. Well, this is the gift, the present that Saturn, Santa, gives us. So you've seen me do this before, and I've spoke about this many times. Satan being Saturn, being the harsh one, the great and malefic, the one who brings restrictions, disease, and all kinds of things. But he also brings a lot of good things as well. A lot of good things. Now look at the word. Santa. All I've done is move the N and put it in front of the T. That's all these people do. The elites, the ones who like to think they sit at the top. That's all they do, because they don't want us to know what the true meaning of this is, because it's very special. Very special. So Santa is Satan, and Satan is Saturn. They're all one and the same. All one and the same. So that's how we get the word Santa. And Santa Claus, well, the clause comes from the word claustrum. 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 Then what this is actually called is Saint Claustrum. The Saint Claustrum is, there is a little closet, like a little hatch that opens up inside your head here, and it's called the claustrum, the closet. This is Saint Nick, Santa Claus. It's the chimney. It opens up. Santa deposits his gift, and it travels down your spine, being the chimney, down your spine, all the way down to the reproductive organs, your private parts, all the way down there, and sits there in the holy bone, the sanctum, the holy sanctum bone, for 2 days, and then you're supposed to not squander it, as in like no sexual pleasures. You're supposed to keep it, and then you're supposed to return it, heave it back up to the heaved up place, heaven. And to do this, to heave it back up, you must change the way you practice your sexual pleasures. You must change your diet. You must change what you're drinking. You change the way you're thinking. There's a lot of things you're going to need to change. You're still you, but this is what every single soul on this earth has to do. We're supposed to return 10% of this, a minimum of 10% of this, back up to heaven, to the gods. So when it comes down, Santa Claus has deposited it in the claustrum, the closet, down the chimney, sits in the sanctum bone, and the sanctum bone is called the holy bone. The Egyptians, they used to, this would be like one of the things that they would probably most certainly want to take with them to their tomb, to the afterlife, because they know that they can rebuild their whole body just from having the sanctum bone. You can rebuild a body. So this is how important the sanctum bone is. So this oil, it's an oil. It's grey matter inside white matter. This is the manna from heaven. This is the holy bread. This is why they give you the bread inside your mouth, inside the church. It represents the sun because it's in a circle, but it also represents the manna from heaven. It's the christos. Christos means oil. It's the oil that comes down your spine, sits in the sanctum bone. And then the moon, every 30 days, the moon will spend 2 to 2.5 days. No, sorry, every 28 days. Correct myself there, sorry. Every 28 days, the moon will spend 2 days in each sign. And when the moon is in your sign, that is when you practice heaving it back up. That's when the moon will help you germinate. The moon, Luna will germinate that matter, that grey oil matter from heaven. She will germinate it to get it activated, to start getting it moving back on its journey, back up the spine, back up to the head. So, well, you'd, like I've mentioned about diet and etc., but you'd also need to watch where the moon is as well. So, every time she hits your sign, I'm a Piscean, so when she's in Pisces, that's when I will, start heaving that back up. Now, you can do it. It does kind of work kind of naturally, but there's a few techniques, obviously meditation being one of them. And another one is the roof of your mouth. If you put your tongue on there and apply pressure like this, like a pump, it will help pump that back up. Now, if you noticed, newborn babies, when they come out, they're like, that's what they're doing, because they naturally know that they need to do that. This is why they want to suck something and have pressure on the top of their mouth, because they naturally know that they need to do this. So yeah, that's one way. Diet, healthy. You need to be healthy. If you're eating, sorry to say, flesh. Well, I call it flesh because it's the flesh of an animal. Meat is any fruit, nut, veg, and seed. That's classed as meat. So you will never, ever, ever ascend if you're eating flesh animals or drinking alcohol excessively. You kind of need to, take cleanse. It's like a 5 to 7 year cleanse for meat. That's how long it takes to cleanse out animal DNA from the body and the meat. Because this keeps the body in an acidic state. So, and the body's very unhappy in an acidic state, and we all live in an acidic. We don't really know how to alkalize. We want to alkalize our bodies, which is basically a water-based diet. Things that, are basically water-based. Fruits, veg, things like that. You can have nut seeds, nuts, and there's lots of other things you can have. But you want alkalizing foods. This will help us make that oil ascend even quicker. Now, I've mentioned the moon needs to be in your sign for 2 days for this to start activating. Now, I will mention as well that this oil, that once it's germinated by the moon, Luna, it's whoever's Christian out there, or you don't even have to be Christian to even know this stuff, but the symbol for Jesus in Christianity is, the symbol of the fish. Now, this is why we get all this, because it's a fishy smelling substance, because this substance represents Jesus Christ. He's now going back to heaven. So this substance is Jesus Christ. This is why when they say Christ is in you, they're not bullshitting. It's actually real. He is, it is in you. That oil, that Christos, is Christ. Christ, Christos. Christos in Greek is oil. So, Christ is in you. Now, Christ, Jesus, in the story, lives for how long? 33 years. Now, your body, your spine, has 33 vertebrae up the spine at the back. 33. Jesus dies at 33. So once this oil travels back up, it has to pass through 33 vertebrae. Each time it passes through each one, it becomes more purer and purer and purer, vibrating on higher levels. And then once it gets to the 33rd, it's then crucified. Exactly the same as Jesus. Dies at the age of 33, crucified on a cross. There's a cross here. The back of the head here, there's a cross. And once it hits there, it's crucified. Now, crucified simply means to increase power 1,000-fold. It doesn't mean to die. It means to increase power 1,000-fold. So could you imagine if you get that oil, even just back to there, what will start happening to you, the body, your mind? Oh yeah. And once it's there, it's not over. It needs to be controlled by other things, the medulla oblongata. It has to go through the medulla. Then the optic thalamus and the pineal. It was the pituitary and the pineal gland. So to get to there, it has to enter the third ventricle in the brain after the medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata is through here, but inside, obviously. So after it comes up through there, through into the third ventricle to the optic thalamus, this is when the two oils meet again, the milk and the honey, and they touch the pineal gland, the eye of God. This is what we're all supposed to be doing. This is why we've come here, to do these things. The pineal gland is the eye of God. So once that oil comes back to God, to the eye of God, your mind will have true illumination. Your blood will regenerate, heal itself. All of your bodily organs can regenerate, heal themselves. Your skin can. And this is how those who study or know some history, this is how some of the ancients used to live for hundreds of years, because they knew how to do this. And once you're good at doing this, and your diet's right, you're thinking healthy thoughts, healthy habits, meditation, things like that, your aging process will slow down, because you're regenerating the body. You're ascending the Christ within you, the oil, back to heaven, the heaved up place, back to back to God, the eye of God. This wincy tinsy wincy little dot is the pineal. This is what we need to do. This is the medulla coming up through here into the third ventricle. See, this is the eye of Horus. You see, those who know, the eye of Horus. And then it comes in, and they have to mix together with the pituitary and the optic thalamus, and then it's so small you can't even see it. The pituitary, the pineal gland. And those for the Bible know the Bible. That's Mount Pineal, Mount Pineal. That's for the pineal gland. This is the mountain. You have to climb back up it. This is Jacob's ladder. And those who know what I'm talking about, Jacob's obviously in scripture. So, and this is what we have to do. So Santa Claus brings us a very, very, very special gift that we must not squander. We've got to return at least 10% of it back up to hit true enlightenment, rejuvenate our bodily organs and our DNA, our blood, everything. And we can live for longer, much, much, much longer. I'm not talking 10, 20 years here. I'm talking laugh all you like. I'm talking 100 odd years. We should be living at least 150 years, 200 years. Easily. But obviously, they don't want us to know this. This is why they hide this like this in these words. Saint Claustrum. This is a legitimate word. This is a medical word. Claustrum. This isn't no bull. This is proper. This isn't rubbish. It's called the claustrum, the Saint Claustrum. This is Saint Nick, who deposits the gift down the chimney, sits in the fireplace, the sanctum bone. Then we must return it back up once a month, whatever star sign you are. Like I said, I'm a Piscean, so therefore I must wait for the moon to be in Pisces each month for me to practice moving this oil back up. 33 vertebrae, Jesus dies at 33. Crucified means to increase power 1,000-fold. This is what it all is. This is Santa Claus. Told you he's real. Yeah, so gonna leave that one there. Hope I haven't really missed anything. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, and hope everyone's had a lovely Christmas. Yeah, love, light, and energy to all.